Welcome to this evening's live webinar. My name is Darren Wagner, and I'm the founder of Morpheus Trading Group, and I'm a professional trader. And for the past 10 years, I've been writing the Wagner Daily swing trading newsletter. Also, just published a new book with my co-author Ed Balog, who the book is actually just released yesterday. Let's go ahead and jump into the topic. What we're going to be talking about this evening is how to find the top stocks and ETFs with the new MTG Stock Screener. And this is going to be just pretty much, in the beginning, just a real simple demonstration of how everything works. And you can see the power of the screener and how well it works. And then we're going to conclude with an actual live stock scanning session. Using the software, you'll be able to see the top stock and ETF picks in the market right now. So be sure to stick around for that part near the end, because it's going to give you some good trade ideas there that are real time. And then at the end of the presentation, we'll have some time for questions. So if anybody has any questions, I'm just going to ask that you could just please write your questions down and save them, and then we'll be happy to answer your questions when we wrap everything up at the end of the presentation. So let's go ahead and get started by looking at the MTG Stock Screener. Okay, so to use the Stock Screener, basically what you need to do here is you first go to this URL up here, screener.morpheustrading.com. Screener.morpheustrading.com. You can follow along if you like, or you can just watch. So what you're looking at here is the screener. Now, the beauty of this screener, I guess the first thing, is that there's nothing to download. It's completely web-based. It runs on HTML5 technology. And that does mean, however, you need the latest version of your web browser. It runs on pretty much any web browser, but you need the latest version that is HTML5 compatible. It even runs on your iPad and your smartphone, like your Android, which is kind of handy. When you load the page, presently there's no registration required. And when you load the page, this is what you'll see. This is the home page of the screener. Here we have the 4 steps that tell you how to get started. It's pretty simple. Here's a frequently asked questions page. And then we have a video tutorials page, which you want to definitely take a look at. Got 3 or 4 videos on here that give you some tips on how to use the screener and really make the most of it to find the best stocks. So we're not going to go through this now, but you can take a look at that later. So the beauty of the screener lies in its simplicity. There really is a lot of screeners out there in the market. I mean, some are very complex that require coding or programming knowledge. Some are somewhere in the middle. You only need to program a little bit. And then there's very few screeners like ours, where it's basically a turnkey approach to finding the best stocks based on technical analysis. When I show this to you how extremely easy it is, you'll be probably surprised if you haven't used it yet. It's extremely simple to use, but extremely effective and powerful as well. What we've done, everybody, is we've taken our swing trading strategy that we've been using for the past 10 years for finding the best stocks and ETFs, and taken those formulas and programmed it into a turnkey approach here for finding the best stocks. And it's a very simple approach, and it uses the best, I guess, how should we say, the best proven strategies for actual swing trading. We look for breakout plays, stocks that are consolidating near their highs and are poised to break out to new highs, and then pullback plays. And there's even a scan for short selling. If you haven't done so, on our website, you can actually go to our blog, which is morpheustrading.com/blog, and click on this link here, our trading strategy. This will give you a real good overview of what we do, and then the screener will make more sense to you exactly what we do. But it's designed to find the best technical stock picks for swing trading. It's not for day traders. It's not an intraday screener. It's for people that hold stocks for several days to several weeks, which is what we do, also known as swing trading. And so let's go ahead and dive in, and I'll show you how it works. First of all, you select a country on the left side here. It's a pop-up menu. Presently, you can choose from the US, India, Canada, or Germany. These are some of the markets we've had interest in. And the default is the US, but any of these countries you can actually scan stocks for. We'll just leave it at the US. And then we can select stocks or ETFs. Now if we select stocks, this item here says select exchange. It gives us a choice between the NYSE, the NASDAQ, or the Amex. And most of the time, the default is for all three exchanges to be checked in case you want to just scan the whole market. But we do give an option there to select individual exchanges. So, for example, if you wanted to scan for just stocks in the NASDAQ, which typically tend to be, the more volatile stocks, the more aggressive stocks, growth stocks, you can do that. But the default is all three are checked. Now, if you select ETFs, you'll notice that the exchange box goes away. There's no box for exchange. It scans all the exchanges that have ETFs. So we'll select stocks. And then you come down here, and the last step is you select your buy setup or short selling setup. For buy setups, there's two main buy setups we have programmed on here. One is potential breakouts, one is pullbacks, and then there's one short selling setup. Now, one of the main concepts of our swing trading strategy is that we always follow a dominant market trend. So if the dominant market trend is up, that means that we are looking to only buy stocks. We're not looking to sell short stocks. We're only looking to buy. If the dominant market trend happens to be down, however, then we look to sell short stocks on a bounce, or we simply stand on the sidelines in cash, either one. So we never recommend using short selling setups in an uptrending market like we have now, and nor would we recommend buy setups in a strongly downtrending market. So that's one key of the strategy. So since we're in an uptrending market, we're going to look just at the potential breakouts and pullbacks. If you look at these video tutorials, you'll see that there's two videos here that explain this in more detail. One of them says how to find top potential breakout setups. The other one says how to find the best pullback setups. So that explains in more detail what this means. But breakout setups are stocks that are consolidating near their 52-week highs, or near their highs of a maybe not 52-week, but near the swing highs, and consolidating for typically at least 2 to 5 weeks to meet our criteria, and consolidating a tight base. And this screen is designed to find stocks before they break out, not after they've already broken out, but stocks that are poised to break out within the next several days to next week or two. So it gives you stocks you can put on your radar screen, on your watch list, and then you can actually just set a price trigger to know when it goes above the resistance level and breaks out. And then potential pullbacks is stocks that are already in an uptrend and have broken out, but have pulled back for anywhere from 1 to 5 days off their highs, pulled back to an area of short-term support, which gives you a secondary entry point if you miss the initial breakout. Both of these are the main types of trades we take in the Wagner Daily newsletter. We buy both breakouts and pullbacks. Both of those setups are valid. Now, some of you may know we actually have a newsletter, the Wagner Daily newsletter. And the Wagner Daily newsletter is a little more detailed. What we actually do is we take our top 1, 2, or 3 picks every day, ETFs and stocks, and we list them. And we actually give exact entry prices and exact exit prices for where we would buy and sell the stocks. So you may be wondering, well, if we do that, then why do we have the screener as well? Well, the screener is more for people that like to kind of do it themselves. It's a do-it-yourself tool. The screener is going to return, on average 20 or 30 results that meet our criteria. But out of those 20 or 30 results, not all of them are going to be valid plays. It's designed to give you the best trade ideas on a technical level, but then the newsletter, we cherry pick using discretion, which are the absolute best picks. And I guess more importantly is the newsletter actually gives specific entry and exit points for the trades, whereas with the screener, you have to actually know where you want to buy and sell. It just gives you the setups. So the newsletter is kind of more of a full serve setup where we hold your hand, and the screener is more for somebody that just wants to a quick way to find trade ideas. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do a scan. Doing a scan is as simple as clicking the button here that says Potential Breakouts. You'll see up here it says Please Wait. It means it's working. And then you will see the results returned right here. And that's it. How long did that take? It took about 3 seconds to do a scan, and we've instantly found the best stocks in the market, in the U.S. market. We can do any market. We scan for the U.S. The best patterns that are setting up for a breakout. These are typically going to be aggressive growth or aggressive growth stocks with good fundamentals, good technicals. And it shows you up here there's 34 results returned. Now the number of results returned is going to depend on market conditions. If you're in a really good market, that number might be higher. It might be 50 or 60 results. If you're in kind of a weak or a choppy market, it might be 10 results. So that it's kind of an indicator of how good the market conditions are. Let's go ahead and look at these columns here. Ticker, self-explanatory. It's a ticker symbol. Company name, industry sector, today's closing price. And by the way, the closing price is updated about an hour after the market closes each day. Remember, it's an end-of-day stock screener. Then we have the point gain or loss. That's the amount of that's the price change for the stock for the most recent day. Then we have percentage gain or loss for the day. This is the 50-day average volume, and this is today's volume versus the average volume. So this shows you if there's a volume spike, for example, anything over 100% means that volume today was greater than average, which is handy for looking for accumulation, because typically stocks that are breaking out or about to break out have high volume. And then perhaps the most important column is relative strength. Now this is not to be confused with the relative strength indicator, RSI. This is our own proprietary indicator of relative strength that compares how strong that stock is over the past 6 months relative to every other stock in the market. So the stocks with a 99 rating are going to be one among the strongest stocks in the market over the past 6-month period. For this scan, we have a couple preset criteria. First of all, the relative strength rating must be at least 85 or better for stocks, and for ETFs it's a lower number, it's 60%. The minimum volume, we look for a minimum volume of 200,000 shares is the preset for stocks. For short selling it's actually higher, it's over 1 million shares. And the minimum price and minimum volume requirement does vary by country. For example, like in Germany, in Canada, the minimum average daily volume is only 50,000 shares. That's all explained in the frequently asked questions page, which I showed you when you first log on. Okay, and now, so in terms of all these columns here that you can sort by, you can actually narrow down your results. For example, I mentioned that the minimum average daily volume is 200,000 shares, but let's say you want to trade only stocks that do at least 500,000 shares a day. Well, the way we do that is we type in 500,000. We click on this filter box. It says must be greater than 500,000. And then you see just a few seconds later, we get new results. There was 34 results before. Now we have 17 results. And these are all stocks over 500,000 shares a day average volume. We can click on any of these column headings to sort. So if I click on average daily volume, now we sort by volume, lowest to highest. If we click on it again, it'll reverse sort, highest to lowest. And the default setting when you first do a scan is relative strength. So you're always going to have the strongest stocks at the top, and then progressively work itself lower. But if you choose to sort another way, you can. But the default is going to be to sort by relative strength. Now, another type of way that's handy is to sort by industry sector. Let's say, for example, that you've noticed that the healthcare sector is strong because generally institutional accumulation runs in groups, in sectors. So what you might want to do is maybe just look at the strongest sector. So if you think that healthcare is a sector that is one you want to look at, you can go to health must contain healthcare sector. And now what's going to happen is we see only healthcare stocks. And we still have this filter in place, 500,000 shares. So now we've just narrowed it down to the strongest stocks in the market with a relative strength rating of 85 or better that do 500,000 shares of volume a day or more and are in the healthcare sector. And, if I wasn't explaining all this to you as we go, this could be done in less than a minute. So it's very powerful, extremely powerful to find the strongest stocks and sort them any way you want them and put any kind of filters you want. And, it's extremely powerful, but it's extremely simple. You click one button. It's a turnkey approach, I guess is one way to look at it. It's a turnkey approach. We didn't want to make a software that you have to program and customize because there's already a lot of companies out there doing that. This is for people that want simplicity, but effectiveness. A couple other features here. You can actually export your results. Let's get rid of this filter here. So no filter. So we'll return to all the other sectors. Okay. And then I'm going to resort by relative strength by clicking on the relative strength tab. All right, that's reverse sort. So I click one more time and that'll sort descending order. Okay. Up here in this corner you'll see export to Excel or export to CSV. So you can actually export the results of your screen. Why would you want to do that? Well, if you have trading software, most trading software these days lets you import a watch list. So you could actually take the stocks you like best from your screen, and then you can export them to your trading watch list and then set specific price alerts so that you're alerted to whenever the stocks meet your trading price criteria that you like. Now, keep in mind this is beta release software. You can see up here it's beta. So we're continually adding features to it. But again, the beauty of it is because it's not anything you have to download, all the improvements and features we add are done behind the scenes. There's nothing you have to really know or do. The upgrades will automatically show up. One of the upgrades that will be available very soon is the ability to select individual stocks from the results and export those versus your whole watch list. And then the next improvement is in the charting. And let's talk about that. What happens now you want to look at the charts? Well, it's very simple. You click on any of these ticker symbols and you will get a chart. This is sorting by relative strength. The stock that came up first here is Ellie Mae. Those of you who are subscribers of the Wagner Daily newsletter know that this is actually a trade we just entered yesterday. And the way we found that trade for our newsletter was by using our stock screener. This is a perfect setup. It meets our trend following criteria. The 20 period moving average, the 50 period moving average, and the 200 period moving average, these three right here, are all sloping higher. And the 20 period moving average is above the 50, and the 50 is above the 200. And it's a potential breakout setup because it meets our rules. For the past 2 to 5 weeks, it's been consolidating in a sideways base, tight basic consolidation with declining volume. And the stock, notice that if it moves above today's high, you can see it's going to break out above this little pennant formation it's got here. Now, I haven't turned on the annotation tools. I could do that as well, but we're actually one of the other features we're adding to the charts very soon is the ability to draw trend lines. So you'll be able to do that, and you'll be able to do text annotations as well. You also notice these buttons here for daily or weekly. This is not functional at the moment. We're working on that. But you can change the date range very easily. Down here you grab this bar, and if you want to look at a longer date range, you just drag the bar back here. And you can see the date move along the side. The default is 9 months, but you can see that you just drag the bar. If you want to look at, zoom in more, you just drag the bar along here. So you've got, we keep the charts very simple. These are the same moving averages we use in our newsletter. Same volume moving average we use, 50-day volume moving average. Up here in the top, you've got your open, your high, your low, your close, moving average prices, the date up here. And all you have to do is move your mouse along the side, and a vertical red line will appear to line up and show you the prices up here in the top left column that coincide. Now, if you want to look at another stock, you just click on the symbol. And one thing that's nice is if you want to quickly look through all the stocks on your list, you don't have to keep clicking. You don't have to keep closing the window. You can simply press the space bar on your keyboard, and it goes to the next stock on your list. So there's the next stock. Now, by the way, if you see a stock like this is probably the result of a corporate buyout or an acquisition, because it was a huge gap where the stock almost doubled in price and hasn't done anything since then. The screener at this time doesn't have any way of filtering out news-driven events like that. So you have to use a little bit of discretion to figure out if it's such a big move like that. It's probably an acquisition. Now Onyx, on the other hand, this was an earnings gap. They had good earnings, and this is another stock that's on our watch list for breakout above the high. And I don't want to get too much into scanning because I don't want to steal Rick's thunder. Rick's going to be doing some live scanning with you here shortly. But I just want to demonstrate, again, just hitting the space bar to go through each of the charts. It's very simple. This is a very nice setup here. You can see the tight consolidation at the highs. If the stock moves above this horizontal price line, which again, if I turned on my drawing tools on my webinar software, you could see, but you can see the horizontal line there, very very nice. Right across the top here would be a breakout play. And again, we can filter this or sort this in any way we like. Pullback works the same way. We just click on the pullback button. And we had 37 potential breakouts, and we had 39 pullback setups. So these are stocks that are already going to be in an uptrend that are pulling back off their highs. Again, the default is to be sorted by relative strength. We just click on the stock name or the ticker symbol. And here we go. This is a great setup here. PCYC, it's been a nice steady uptrend since May of 2012. And it's about a 5-day pullback off its high, right down the support of the 20-day moving average. So I can tell just by looking at this, if you buy this over the 3-day high, that's a buy setup over the 3-day high in anticipation of a rally back to the prior high and a resumption of the uptrend. Let's see what's next on here. Threshold Pharmaceuticals, THLD. Here again, we got a stock that broke out on a nice gentle pullback. This is also known as a bull flag. A lot of these patterns you see are going to be what's called bull flags, which is just a gentle pullback off the highs. Again, won't steal Rick's thunder. I don't want to do any live scanning because Rick's going to handle that, my right-hand man. Just want to demonstrate how the software works. But short selling setups, again, this is not going to be something we would do right now because we're in an uptrending market. And there's only 5 results. Now, if we were in a downtrending market, you would see a lot of results here. But these are going to be stocks that are bouncing into resistance of a downtrend line or a primary downtrend. So is that simple or what? Simply select the country and then select stocks or ETFs, select the exchange, and then click on breakouts or pullbacks. And then simply it's a matter of filtering whether you want to filter your results any further or sort in a different way or export your results and then look at the charts. I mean, it doesn't get much simpler than this. And again, the software can be used on any HTML5 compatible device, which includes the iPad, Android, any computer with the most up-to-date browser. So it's nothing to download, which is nice as well. There's a search box up here. You'll notice you can type in, if you just want to search and look at the chart pattern of any particular stock, you can just type in, for example, Apple, everybody's favorite stock, and then you click on it and hit search, and then it'll just generate a chart of Apple. And the search box works for all the exchanges that we cover, all 4 countries right now: U.S., India, Germany, and Canada. So there you go. There's your chart of Apple. So you can look up individual stocks pretty easily as well. And if you click on the Home tab, that'll bring you back to this home page here, so you can view the frequently asked questions or view the video tutorials to learn more as well. So that about sums it up for the presentation. Because it is so simple, there's not a whole lot to explain to you. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to just show you a few other things, and then we'll wrap up and we'll have time for any questions and answers. So again, just to review, you can access the Morpheus Screener at screener.morpheustrading.com. There's no registration required. It's presently free while it's in beta mode. Obvious question on your mind probably is, well, how much is it going to cost when it's not in beta mode? Well, the good news is we're going to keep this thing pretty much as cheap as we possibly can. It's going to be probably $10 to $15 a month. The data feed cost just for us to have the direct data feed with these exchanges is expensive. So we're just going to keep it minimal so that a lot of people can use it. It's not going to be expensive at all. But in the meantime, it's free, so might as well use it as long as you can while it's free. For those of you who are not real familiar with what we do, this is our main website, morpheustrading.com. This is where you can sign up and learn more about our newsletter, the Wagner Daily Swing Trading newsletter. You would just you can read some more about it here, and then just click on this button, Start My Risk-Free Access, and enter your details, and then you'll get pricing details and everything else for the newsletter. You can also access the screener from here. If you click on Stock Screener from our home page, it'll take you to this page, tells you about the screener, little video about it. And then if you click on this link here, it just takes you right to screener.morpheustrading.com. This is our blog. For those of you who are trying to learn about trading and want to learn a proven trading strategy that works, highly recommend our blog. It's morpheustrading.com/blog. And we post on here almost every day, sometimes 2 times a day. We usually have some trade ideas. Like a couple days ago, we talked about the Hong Kong ETF, EWH, looking good for a trend reversal play. Great video here. Got a lot of views. How to quickly find stocks that move 20% in 2 weeks. We talk about the screener and the kind of patterns you look for. So a lot of good educational articles on here. And it's broken down by category. So if you haven't spent time on our blog, I recommend you do. You can actually enter your email address here and then get notified every time there's once a day for new posts. And then the last thing is just yesterday, my new book came out, so I'm kind of proud of that. This is a book I co-authored with an associate of Morpheus Trading, Ed Baylog, and it's called Advanced Technical Analysis of ETFs. This is the follow-up to my 2008 book, which is called Trading ETFs. That book did real well back in 2008, and this is a follow-up. Gets more into the advanced topics of ETF trading. And like I said, it was just released yesterday, so Amazon.com is definitely the cheapest place to buy it. It's like half the price of a bookstore. Funny I tell you that, because I'd make more royalties if you bought it in a bookstore, but I want you to get the best price, so it's on Amazon. You can actually buy it through our site. Just click on this link here on our blog, or if you go back to our main website, you click on YMTG. You get a little bio about me and my photo, and then down here is all of our books. You can click on right here and buy through our website. Hope you enjoyed our presentation today, and be sure to get out there and try the screener. It's free, so make the most of it. Get some good stock picks going, and feel free to email us with any questions at all.